lesson, we're going to talk about forms. Now, we want to know how to create and edit and work with form submissions. And in addition, we also are including surveys in this lesson as well. So let's dive into the screen share and find out how to do it. So to start working with forms and surveys, you want to go to the sites, and from here you've got the forms drop down, and you'll have the builder, and then you've also got surveys builder. We're going to start with forms. So let's look at the forms builder. So forms are essentially how you capture any information from a user. So you think about this in terms of a website, a landing page, a quiz, a questionnaire, or really anything that requires user input. So look, we start with the form, we create a new one, and what we're able to do then is drag fields over to the form. So if I just look at the options, I can give this a name, and let's say that I want to put this as a contact us form on a website or a funnel. So you've probably seen this on a million other websites. So contact us, full name, and of course, if you want, you can use custom fields. So any of the custom fields that you've built, you can add them in here. And of course, if you want to create one that isn't in your list already, you can create it here. Now, you can add things that do something a little bit special, like capture, and this enables anti-spam mechanisms as well. You can insert buttons, and those buttons will do something other than a submission. You can also do things like a phone number, and this is geolocated to their IP address, so it will automatically recognize where the user is before they start typing in their phone number. So if they're in my country, for instance, Australia, +61, doesn't need to be keyed in. You just type in the phone number in the format that you're used to locally, which is omitting the +61 out of it entirely. So usually you can omit. Now the little asterisk means that the field is mandatory. So if we click on a field, we've got the title, we've got the placeholder, and you've got the query key. Now you can leave the query key blank. Essentially what it does is it parameterizes the form and will populate the form with values from, say, a cookie. So this is how sticky forms work. And essentially what it does is it replaces the variable full name with the value in the parameterized URL. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. It is a little bit advanced, and too advanced for this lesson. But here we can make this mandatory by clicking on required. Once we're happy, we simply click off and we get the options back. So this is how you build a form. Once you're happy with that form, you would click save. And there's my saved form. Now, looking at the integrate section, this is how we use a form. So we can embed this form into an iframe. So essentially what this means is that it will render this form anywhere that a browser can render HTML. Right, so let's have a look at one of these in action. So I have a website called Growthable, and the landing page, which is the first page, is my form, which is not working. Anyway, we'll figure that out. It's probably because I haven't paid my subscription. But anyway, so we'll have a form in which we can embed onto any website or any, as I say, anything that's rendering HTML. And then the other one is link, right? So you can actually just link this form. So if someone was to click that link, it would just take them directly to that form. And this is actually quite handy if you just want someone to fill out some details. You don't have to go and build a funnel and embed the form into the funnel. You can simply just send them the link to the form like this. And of course, when you have a form submission trigger to do something on the workflow, then Bob's your uncle. So what this also allows you to do is when you've created this form, you've got a name. The name is Contact Us, right? And then on submission, you want to know what it's going to do. So either open a URL or just display a message. So it could be on submission, you just go thanks for your submission, right? You're also able to put a Facebook pixel ID for tracking. So this is remarketing to anybody that lands on this page. And what it says here is you're already going to be using Facebook pixel IDs inside of funnels. So you're not required to put the Facebook pixel ID here because they're not actually hitting the form, they're hitting the survey or funnel. And if you do want to use a pixel ID as a standalone form, you can look at pixel events. And so this is the different types of events for Facebook pixels. This is to give you a bit more detail in your attribution and reporting, to segment your audiences into different cohorts. So you can have someone who added to cart but didn't purchase, someone who purchased, someone who started a trial, and so on. And that's just the page view. And then of course on form submission, what event are they also triggering there, right? So it could be page view is someone starting a trial, but when they actually submit that, they're purchasing. So that's going into a little bit more detail than we've got time for in this lesson. And again, sticky contact basically will automatically fill the contact information if they exist in the system already. So they don't have to enter it twice, which is very handy. So this is how we build and create forms. In the next lesson, we're going to look at how to analyze and find submissions. Let's see you in the next one.